going on, everyone? Matt here from the Hicksey podcast. Today we are joined with one of the biggest men in the biz, Joe Kmetz, back from college. Joe, say hi to the people.
How are you guys?
Dave, what are we talking about today?
Since Joe has been, first of all, he went all the way to Pennsylvania for school, right? And I was thinking we could talk about, his experience there, what's been going on in there, what he's taken, what his majors and minors are, and if anything about sports, if he wants to contribute with sports content, we could do that too. So, how was your college experience so far? Is it bad? Is it good? Is it medium? Is it you don't care?
Yeah, and first tell the people what college you go to, all that good stuff.
All right, I go to Misericordia University. It's right outside of the Scranton Wilkes-Barre area. So if you've ever seen The Office, that's where it is. An OT major. It's occupational therapy for those who don't know, and it's a ton of fun. It's a blast. I love it. It's a lot of work, but if you you learn how to balance it out, you make a lot of friends, and then
Yeah, that's kind of how it usually is, because it's always a balance. Because I know if you do too much of one thing, if you work too hard, you're gonna just feel like shit. If you play too hard, you're gonna suck and not get your your grades in and whatnot. So yeah, but all right, Matt, do you have anything to say?
No, good podcast, guys. What was the difference? I remember my first year of college. Dave and I are doing it differently. We're staying home and stuff. But what was the biggest difference for you? The difference between high school and college?
Well, the big thing is the independence, because in high school, you wake up every day, you have your mom and dad, you have a house, so you're on your own. In college, you gotta get your own food. You got to wash your own clothes. You got to do your own work. You got to, do your own thing. You can't just, go around waiting for your parents to tell you to do something, or, have them there to, motivate. Not necessarily, motivate you, but, motivate you. You got to be,
keep you in check, at least.
Yeah. You got to be your own man or woman.
Got to keep it PC.
It's 2018.
Yeah, I think that the big thing to me was definitely, the independence factor of it. I lived at home, so I still have mom and dad, around the house, making food and shit. So nothing really that much different there. But even the small things. I remember going into UConn Waterbury the first day, and the people just walking around the hallway, all the time. Going back to high school. I remember going back to high school is when I realized I was oh man, it's they have to stay in the classroom until the bell rings. Everything like that. Yeah. In college, it's more you're kind of on your own thing. If you show up late, you show up late, and if you miss class, you can miss class. They don't really care to an extent, but you have to kind of have that own responsibility. At
the end of the day, it's your own money. You're putting your money in. So if you don't take advantage of the system, you're wasting your time and money. And that's why, again, for me, the biggest difference so far is I have to, again, instead of, like you said before, instead of, teachers telling you, do your homework, do this, do that, it's you have to do your own, homework. You have to make your own, time to study and whatnot. It's more independent, but, you have to stay with it and, take it from there. So
Did you guys find, I remember my first year, I had an English project. It wasn't really a project, but it was just, a short essay. And I kind of did the BS thing. I kind of did it really quick, I would have done in high school, and I got a D. And I was holy crap! That's an easy B, maybe potential A minus back in high school. But did you guys find the level of your work had to step up once you hit the college level?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And my teachers were kind of good about it because, for example, you're talking about a paper. I had a writing seminar paper. And he said, you got a rough draft, do it this time. So I did the rough draft the way I would in high school. I kind of did it the day of, I kind of BS'd it, handed it in. He goes, you're lucky it's a rough draft because I would have completely failed the assignment. He told me what I had to do and I did it. So I was kind of lucky there, but that was a wake up call to me because for OT I have to keep a minimum of a 3.0 average. Mm-hmm. If I drop below that, I get a semester on probation. But if I don't get above that, I get kicked out of the program. So I got to keep my grades up. I can't afford to I got a 70 on a test. In high school, it's no big deal. But in Misericordia, 70 is a 2.4. And if I get 70s the whole time, I'm not looking good for staying in the program. So you definitely gotta keep the quality of your work up, and that was a big wake up call for me. Like one of the first weeks of school.
Yeah, no, like you said before, though, it's pretty much you have to be self motivated to do things. You cannot rely on like your parents or anyone doing things for you. And as for me with my teachers, again, I've always been pretty decent at writing essays, so it wasn't really a problem for me. I could BS my way through essays easily. But again, my teachers have been really helpful. We have steps. We have like not rough drafts. I would forget what the word is, but like you do different sections. For example, you do your intro. You have like you come in the class and say in front of people. You have your body, and then you have your conclusion. We have different sections, and then at the end of the day you have to write a big essay about it. But like again, that's been helping me a lot because I mean, sometimes I would struggle with essays a little bit, but that helps me a lot. But so.
Yeah, the schoolwork itself, I thought definitely was a definite wake up call. But how's your social life really changed between like high school, college? Anything different there?
I mean, really, like it's just the first few days was kind of weird. Like it felt like you were like a kid all over again, like making friends.
Right.
Like I had to go like out of my way, like to go meet friends. But, like now I have like my group of friends, and it's basically just like here, except we have our own like dorm rooms. Basically, that's the only really difference from high school to here. Like once you make friends, it's pretty much exactly the same.
And is that first week? Is there like a rush to make friends? Do you kind of feel that?
In a way, yeah, because like if you don't make friends, like some of my friends that are on the football team, like literally like football just ended like at my school, and a lot of them don't have friends outside the football team, and it's tough because like now during the year when football's over, you don't really see them, so it's like they kind of have to make new friends quick. So like for me, I was like lucky, like not having really any sports or like anything besides my classes early on, so I like made a ton of friends, and I have my friend group, and like I lucked out. Like there are some people that are like kind of shy. Like I'm not saying there's anything wrong with sitting in your dorm room, but like my roommate like never likes to leave the dorm, so he doesn't have a lot of like I went random. Like he doesn't really have a lot of like people outside of like me and like a few people in some of his classes. But I mean, there's nothing really to be afraid of. So like just go out there and talk to people.
Yeah, I thought. Like the difference for me, going to a local campus, especially, so you really you really have to make friends because you have like the people still from high school that stuck around too. So for like example, like Dave here, he stayed around, so I always hung out with him. Always hung out, John and Keith up the block. Those guys were always still around. So I didn't feel like there was as much of a necessity to make friends in college. I knew a few guys that went there already, like one guy, Johnny, where he works with me. But I really I feel like I didn't have to make too many friends, so I didn't. It's more of a like an in and out sort of situation as compared to when you're on campus. It's that's your entire life, the people there. So Dave?
Well, I'm kind of antisocial, so when I go to the class, I get my earbuds in, I do what I gotta do, and I'm out. I don't really. I mean, again, I have my high school friends, so I don't really.
You still wear your earbuds in when you go out to dinner.
Yeah, even with my high school friends, I still wear my earbuds, and I have my earbuds are my friends, but whatever. But anyways, I don't really. Eventually when I go to like a campus and I have to stay over, I will obviously make friends. I'm pretty decent at making friends, but I'm not gonna be alone. I don't want to do that. But yeah, when that time comes, I will do it. But for now, I'm just gonna chill and bull.
Well, I kind of felt like being antisocial, especially when you're living off campus. Being antisocial has its perks. Like you don't like you're not gonna like start any like beef or whatever in the school, you know what I mean? There's not gonna there's no like I don't feel like there's any added pressure to make friends there, but it has its advantages as far as like schoolwork's concerned. Like especially I think I figured out once I took a summer class, and we had a really tight class where like everyone talked to each other, and it helped with especially homework assignments and tests, because before the class we would come in early, we'd study for the test real quick, or if there's a homework problem I had trouble with, we could text in this group chat, which I didn't have my freshman year. So I kind of carried that in my sophomore year, and I kind of found by being more social and talking to more people, it kind of had its benefits.
I mean, yeah, I agree with that. Like there are some benefits both ways. Like me, I'm just like a social person, so like I wouldn't be able to like living on campus, like having like only like one or two friends. I guess like I wouldn't be able to do that. So like, don't get me wrong though, I do like every once in a while just like chilling in the dorm and not really doing anything. It's like just relaxing because like it does help with your work. But like if you can find that balance, because that was kind of tough for me like the first month, like finding the balance of like hanging out with friends too much and like doing too much, like, or not doing enough schoolwork. And I mean, once I found that balance, I mean, I feel like I've been doing pretty well in terms of my grades. I have nothing below an 80, so like.
There you go.
Kind of a big deal.
Yeah, right. Again, I'm not by antisocial. What I mean is, I'm not going out of my way. I'm not like hiding in the bathroom during class and all that stuff. I'm not like trying to, go out of my way purposely to not make friends. I just don't really like. I haven't, I'm kind of an independent person. In like, unlike Joe, I kind of like to do my own thing. So I just go to class, do my business, and get out. Again, but like I said before, once I go to campus, I'm going to need to make friends.
Good for you, Dave.
Of course.
One other thing that I kind of missed, especially my freshman year, was not having the ability to play sports anymore. Like I didn't have for UConn Waterbury, we didn't have any. We don't have any like baseball team. You can join a club team or something like that. So I kind of miss playing. I miss playing sports for a little bit. Joe, are you playing sports?
I'm doing track and music recording. Yeah, I'm throwing up there.
Okay.
But one thing that was weird was not playing football. Like just like going there the first day and seeing like all the guys practicing outside, and I'm like, oh man, I'm in here. I'm not really doing it anymore. It's like I miss high school football, but I'm glad I didn't play college football, kind of thing. Because like for them, it's like a job. Like it's not even. It's like it's a completely different animal.
Really?
Even at like the D3 level, it's just like it's a completely different animal than like high school football was. Like the other day, our football team went 1-9 every year, but this year they went 8-2. They played a team in a bowl game, or Sinus. We lost 70-14. Like these guys were complete specimens. It was ridiculous. Like compared to high school, like you'll get 1 week. Oh, well, like for example, for Woodland, like we play Wilby. Like that's a win. College, like just watching them, like I would ask them every week, oh, how you guys looking? There was never like a guaranteed, oh, we have them beat. Because at like college, it's like everyone is as good as
Everyone's
you.
good, yeah.
It's not like
we got recruited.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, we got 3 straight weeks of city schools. Those are 3 wins. This is a completely different animal. But like, I'm doing track at Misericordia. I joined the Ultimate Frisbee team there.
Yeah,
that's a good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's a ton of fun.
I wish we had that at my school. Yeah. They don't have any of that.
I wish we had like much more, like instead of football and stuff like that, we should have like localized, not really localized, but like somewhat of smaller sports, like for example frisbee and all that stuff. But no, frisbee. What made you start? What made you get into frisbee? Ultimate Frisbee.
Well, basically, the first week of school, they make all the freshmen go to like this club fair. Kind of reminded me of high school, but like it was whatever. So for OT, I had to join the OT club because for every major, you have like a club for it, and you have to join. Like there's like a PT club, a business club. There's like a speech club for the speech majors. And right next to the OT club, one of the guys I met, he's a senior this year. He's also in the Ultimate Frisbee Club, and it was like the booth right next to it. He goes, join that because I'm on the team. And I go, all right, yeah. I mean, I always liked playing it in gym class. Why not just, screw around? It was once a week practice, and like we went to a tournament, and like we got 5th place, and that was like the best we ever did. It's a lot of fun because like it's not serious, but like it's just a lot of fun, like not having to worry about like how you do.
Yeah, the reason why I kind of asked you about Ultimate Frisbee because we have one of our friends, Mark Crowley, but that kid is a specimen when it comes to Ultimate Frisbee. He's really good. Like
another thing about Ultimate Frisbee, it's like really, really good cardio workout because you're never like. I mean, there's a few times you're jogging around, but for the most part, you're always moving. You're
moving. You're moving the entire time. My fat ass. That is a tough proposition to do, but it's a lot of fun though. You feel good afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
Probably my second favorite cardio like sport to play. Like I play deck hockey, and that's another one where it's just like you're constantly cycling, constantly moving, especially when you only have the bare minimum players. So if you have like 4 or 5 guys show up, you're getting a good workout in. So yeah.
You did tell me to like it is good cardio. You told me to try it once, but I don't know how to skate. I don't know how. If you teach me how to skate one of these days, maybe I could get into it. But it's probably going to be a shit show because last time I tried skating, I almost concussed myself. So yeah, honestly, I mean, I fall when I'm trying to make a layup. So like, I mean, come on. I'm not. The thing for me is I have the athleticism. I could jump. I could do all that stuff. I just don't have the coordination. I don't have the coordination. If I had coordination, I'd be filthy with a lot of things. But my hand-eye coordination. Not even me. My father, my mom, my brother. We all suck at it. I don't know if it's like a trait from us or something. I don't know. I don't even know. But yeah, no.
So Joe, this is now. I mean, like we said earlier, this is your first year out of the Woodland football program. How great is it to see from afar now how well these guys are playing this season?
Oh, I love it. Yeah. It's awesome because, like, last year, we had our struggles. Obviously, we only went 5-5. For us last year, that seemed like a great improvement going from
it was a stellar
1-9 from my junior year going 5-5 senior year. I love seeing how these guys like matured because like last year, like there was a lot of games where it just seemed like the underclassmen, like they were kind of just like, oh, whatever, you know what I mean? Like we always have like next game or next year, but like for us as seniors, it was kind of frustrating because like this is all we got, and like the fact that like we turned it around too from at one point we were 2-4 to win 3 straight, like that was huge. But like seeing these guys this year, they officially clinched the playoffs this weekend. Evan O'Brien lost. That's huge. We're definitely going to the playoffs. I'm excited to see him play on Wednesday. I haven't seen him yet this year. I was supposed to go to the Ansonia game, but because of my classes and like the game got moved up, I wasn't able to make it. But like, I'm really proud of these guys. I hope they can beat Seymour, go 9-1, maybe, hopefully get a home playoff game in the first round. That'd be really awesome.
We were talking about this with Joe in our last podcast, but really like the framework that was set by you guys last season, I feel like that was so crucial because the year before, the year Dave and I graduated, it was tough to watch. I mean, we were going up against Sacred Heart. Guys, teams we absolutely destroyed this year, going up against city schools and struggling, going up against Torrington and struggling. Like, there was just really frustrating games to watch. But like you said, it was just so many young players that were inexperienced. And, last year was a big step forward. I think especially the win against St. Paul. I think that was really when I felt like moving forward, maybe you guys had a chance in the future.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. That game was the game where I kind of like, obviously at that point, like we were out of the playoffs. Like I knew that, like I was mentally like still frustrated, but at the time we played them, they were number 6 in Class S. They were a playoff team coming off a loss to Ansonia, so they were pissed. And going into that game, we came back and upset them at their home field on their like homecoming day or something like that. But it's tough at the same time, like you said, it was tough junior year 1-9 for me, your senior year. But like when so many kids from your grade stopped playing, and same thing with my grade, like it's tough. Like my freshman year, we had 20 kids on the freshman team from my grade. My senior year, from that freshman team, there was only like 4 of us, and like 3 more kids decided to play. So there's really only like 8 or 9 of us, like 7, 8, 9 of us that were still sticking with it. But like compared to 20. It's tough, and like these guys now have so much experience. Like I remember, like we were joking over the summer. We were like, Mike Stankus, and then back when they won it in 04-05, they had played every year since their freshman year. And these guys, like Joe Shea, I'm not saying that I'm not trying to compare the two teams, but like Joe and Carter and all those guys, they've been playing varsity time since freshman year, and so all that experience is coming to help them huge. And now you're seeing them; they're kicking ass every week. I mean. They might be one of the
legitimate shot to beat.
They have a
team we haven't beaten.
Oh yeah,
forever.
They have a very legitimate chance to go 9-1 and potentially make it to the state title game, depending on how the bracket shakes up.
Yeah, I feel like that's really what it's going to come down to. If you look at the bracket, you have Ansonia up top, but there's a lot of like tech schools or teams that. There are teams that NVL is probably one of the best divisions.
It really is. It's from top to bottom, the NVL, like, people can say what they want come playoffs, but like top to bottom, it is one of the most sound like leagues or like conferences in the state. Absolutely.
And like the only problem, especially last season, I believe St. Joe's was the team who won, but they can't even make the playoffs this year because they go up against double L schools and stuff like that. So it works to our advantage as long as we don't have to play Ansonia early. We should have a pretty legitimate shot at least making it to the playoff. But another thing we were talking about with Joe last podcast, the dedication of these kids too has been insane. Like you said, you had 20 kids your freshman year playing, and then only a handful of them ended up staying. And like I remember back my senior year on the baseball team, we had 9 freshmen try out, and then only 3 ended up staying until their senior year. So yeah, we're talking about dedication. Typically, that's a trait that you don't see in these kids anymore. If something doesn't go their way, they'll just quit. But these guys, I mean, they've stuck with it, and you have to applaud them for that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, like I said, my grade, like you said too, 20 kids going down to 9. Seeing these guys, I feel like they've almost like gotten more kids since they've started their freshman year.
They have,
and it's crazy to just see that, because you can tell like it's a completely different culture, even from like my freshman year, seeing like the seniors at that time. It's a different culture now, but these guys are like a dying breed. I feel like they set the groundwork for the future to where like hopefully like future kids that come through the program don't quit. Because like I said this to a lot of the freshmen, like the current now sophomores, but they were freshmen last year. It's gonna suck at times, especially like when you were used to like in Pop Warner being like the dude and not playing a lot freshman year or like sophomore year. But you just got to stick with it, because at the end of the day, it pays off. Like, look at them now. They have a very legitimate chance to go the distance and maybe, shock the world and win a state title.
Absolutely.
That would be something monumental if that happened, the state title, if they win that. Because, I mean, I've been with some of these kids because I played football for a little bit. But, like, again, back to what Joe was saying, though, the dedication, because all these times they've lost, a lot of times, frustration losses, but, like, these kids just kept coming to practice, kept doing what they were told to do, and then look at them now. So, I'm also really proud of them, too,
Yeah, it's really something to behold. This team, like we said, going from the 1 win, only beating Kennedy my senior year, now to potentially maybe going to the state championship. It would really be quite the accomplishment. Any last words, Dave?
Well, I just want to thank Joe for coming on there, and I appreciate you, man.
Joe, want any shout-outs? Any final words?
I mean, first of all, thank you guys for having me on, and I want to say again, congrats to the Woodland football team. Hopefully you guys can beat Seymour tomorrow, go 9-1, shock the world. Thank you guys so much.
All right. Peace.
Bye.